YouTube, what it do? All right. The harsh truth about sleeping with people you don't know. Having children with people you don't know. Ooh, nobody want to talk about that. They just want to what y'all call it, have the hookup culture. And you're hooking up with demons. You're hooking up with people that will potentially hurt you, hurt your children. Or you are the one that potentially hurt people that inspire the drama, the chaos, the terror, because you have no understanding. Your parents never taught you anything. So you just think you can move recklessly. So you sow in the flesh and you reap in the flesh. Let's talk about it. This hookup culture, not even this hookup culture, let's call it the sinful culture. The culture that goes against nature. The culture that goes against its own, that have you going against your own well-being. The culture that has you going against your own self, your fellow man. How did we get this far? You know, if I was a foolish human being, I would be indulging so much flesh and carnal activity. And I thank God that I'm not on that level, because I thought it was pecking season when I was younger, in the 90s, in the late 90s. But this is just crazy today, how there's no standards, no morals, and how wickedness has just constantly just increases amongst people, and it's polished and it's shined to be called a culture. This is a wicked culture. I came across something on my feed this week about a young man who happened to FaceTime his ex-girlfriend and strangles their child in front of her, as the child is covered with blood because of the abuse. And everybody's looking at her like she's the victim. Only victim is that innocent child who came into a world where the culture is full of selfish human beings, full of demonic human beings. That's the only victim. The woman was lustful, and she chose to be with a man that she didn't see a life with. Moved on. Whatever the case, I don't even know the depth of it. But the bottom line is, people are not getting in relationships for the longevity, whether it be the man or whether it be the woman. They're using each other's bodies. You know what? It's a trip, because sometimes you can speak on situations like this, and I'm catching myself. Sometimes you can speak on situations like this, but no one really will ever know the truth of the details of the relationship. So I'm going to speak on just what's common in relationships these days. And what's common is for the girl to meet the boy to meet the girl, and they enjoy each other, and they end up getting together, less than a month. They knocking boots less than a month. And now they enjoying each other. And sometimes they end up getting pregnant. Just that quick. Just that quick, they end up getting pregnant. And so they end up having a relationship for about 9 months on average. Once the child is born, and they realize that, we have two different ideas on how to raise a child. You're going to pay for it, and I'm going to raise it, and I'm going to leverage that child against you. You know that story. And then you got the story where the guy actually sincerely loves that woman. And she didn't plan on getting pregnant, but she ended up getting pregnant. She just wanted him to satisfy her little itch. But now she's stuck with a guy who's never been with a woman, and not just never been with a woman, but now he's got that woman pregnant. So he's head over heels, and he's never gotten the wisdom and game on a woman. So he's got a woman that he thinks that he's going to spend the rest of his life with, because we naturally be wanting to spend our lives with the women that we have children with. Women be naturally want to spend their lives with the men that they have children with. But they've made it so common that that precious process is being watered down with this wicked view on life. And guess what? Now we are seeing too often the fruit that wicked way of living produces. And it's only producing death, destruction, heartbreak. That's all this way of living, this way of living it produces. For what? For a few moments of passion, a few moments of pleasure. No one's getting to know the people. No one's making the time. And not just that. Let's say that they are getting to know a person. Let's create another scenario. They are getting to know each other. And then they end up having a child. And then the woman decides, because it's so common in this world, if the woman don't like the way you sneeze, she can leave. If she want to choose up, whatever the case, that this type of woman chooses to move on based upon her school of thought. Her school of thought could be YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter. It ain't no book. Half these women in this world don't have a school of thought based upon a book or an ancient philosophy. These school of thoughts are coming from this society and the drama that it brings. So they're not thinking men and not thinking women. They're just lustful men and lustful women. And they have themselves to think, because that's the source of their knowledge. The source of their knowledge is this world, the carnal, the lustful aspect, the sinful aspect, the unnatural aspect of this world. So you got the couples who are in relationships. They're loving each other. And then for some reason the woman doesn't like the fact that the man is providing on the level that he's providing. So she thinks that she can level up because some guy in the grocery store told her she was pretty and cannot have your number. So she decides to destroy her whole relationship and her family. Now, I'm not saying that it's this couple, but I'm giving you simply several different scenarios that can cause a relationship to go left. And when it goes left, depending on the strength of those people in those relationships, you can have hell to pay, or you can have an experience to learn from. And then in the beginning of this video, I told you this particular couple had hell to pay. So the guy says in the Kroger's line, "Oh, you cute. What y'all having, tacos tonight?" "Oh, yeah, okay, well, that's what's up. Well, I like your flip-flops. I like your slides." And she like, "Oh." And they see each other in the parking lot. He pulls up in his new car. And she's like, "Dang, my God, I don't have a new car." And he's like, "Hey, you want to hang out sometime?" She's like, "Sure." And she thinks the grass is greener on the other side. When there's a guy at home that's been home after a hard day of work from his 9 to 5. This guy's blowing smoke in his air because he just likes having sex and she likes having sex. So basically, the relationship is destroyed. And that man who's at home working at 9 to 5 is crushed because no one gave him the game and how to choose a woman. No one gave him the game on how to endure when relationships go sour. So now his vibrational and spiritual body is being weakened and then being influenced by other dark powers to be. There's a spirit world that's observing your natural world and your natural experiences. And they can see your vibrational field of body. And when your vibrational field of body is weakened, you can be overtaken by an evil force, and that could cause you to make your life a living hell. Examples of that are all over the world if you're able to pay attention. So this young man, from the information I have heard, he was upset that she began to love another man. So he's like, well, since you don't love me and you don't love our daughter, you love another man, it hurts. And since that hurts me, I'm going to show you what hurts feel like. So the child is in the middle of these two dysfunctional, selfish, low vibrational human beings, which causes destruction. And that's the thing. A lot of people know that when people hurt you, you have these involuntary thoughts that cross your mind on how you want to hurt that person back. But you're strong enough, wise enough, and smart enough to know that you can't move that way. So you just decide to take your L and move on. Well, some people are not taking L's. They're not taking L's like that. Some people are saying, you know what? If you want to mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. And those are some of the people who've been broken. And when you're dealing with a broken person, you have no clue the influence that broken person is operating under. A very supernatural, dark-spirited influence. That's why you must treat people with respect and don't become a target of one of these dark influence, supernatural, overshadowed human beings. And unfortunately, a lot of people want to put the woman in the victim light, but it's be these women who be a part of breaking these men. And then they become the target themselves. Because every action causes a reaction. And a lot of times people experience their judgment in this life. I tell a lot of my friends, hey, you're going to experience judgment because of what you just did, what you've been experiencing, how you living. Oh, you thought you got away with it? Nah, it's knocking at your door now. It's knocking at your door. And a lot of them know it. But they try to ignore it, try to polish it up, try to dance around it. And you know friends like that. And you know people like that who are suffering. And it's because they mistreated people and they mistreated themselves. And now they got hell to pay. So it's very important to assess the situation from many angles. And maybe you could teach or show other people to move in a better way than just the selfish, destructive way, where that the innocent among them may be abused because of their evil ways. Something to think about. Holler at you later. Peace.